What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the RFL Network Mock Draft Monday. I'm 7 o'clock. If you're not familiar with the RFL Network or the RFL Relegation Fantasy League, it's where 24 pages, 24 content creators will battle in a relegation soccer style fantasy football. Each year, a team will either be promoted, demoted, or relegated to the waiting list to make room for other pages. Very competitive, very accountable. We got a lot of people giving advice out there. Let's see who really knows their stuff, and it's just fun amongst the pages just to say who's the best. Without further ado, I want to bring out my guest, one of the dopest, kindest people in the game, one of the best drafters too, like easily top six. Going to be a threat. She is a representative of the RFL. She's going to be a participant. I like to bring out Amber Alert, FF, Amber Alert. What's going on with you?
Hey, thanks for having me, Seven. I appreciate you and the wonderful glowing entrance. Hopefully I can I can keep myself accountable for that this year and every year, right?
Yeah, looking good. Looking good.
Thank you.
You get out the West Coast and start losing weight. Maybe it's time for me to go out there and join you
Man,
guys.
I'm telling you, I got a garden and a yard, and it's just I'm moving around a lot more. You would think you on the West Coast we'd be out more, but I don't
It's
know.
too
When you live in
expensive.
the concrete jungle, you know how it goes. So
Yes, yes. I know the animals are ready. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over real quick. Let's bring up the draft board. Let's go over here and let's start the draft.
let's go.
Where are you drafting? You were at 5?
Yeah, I decided to go in the middle. I was like, let's see. That's usually where I land when people randomize anyway. So
Okay.
I don't know why though. I always land it's somewhere between 5 and 8, and I'm like, well, I don't understand why. I mean, I would like to just get a 1 or a 12 every once in a while, you know?
You're talking about during like redraft?
Yeah, redraft season, like always smack dab in the center, usually. So
Got you.
yeah.
Another guest has been in the building, another participant in the RFL, a regular around here. We got my man straight from New York. Where's Brooklyn at? Where's Brooklyn?
What's
High
up,
society.
bro?
What's going on with you, brother?
Come on.
Nothing. Doing great. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing great. I don't know if you've met Amber Alert FF, but she's one of the dopest. Hopefully, you don't end up in the league with her, man, because she's a problem. I don't think she's in the playoffs in Vegas ever.
Look forward to a good challenge.
Hey, let's go. It's nice to meet you, my guy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Appreciate it.
All right.
Where are you drafting at, High Society?
I'm looking at 11 right now. I'm actually sandwiched between you. You're 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I got my eye on you. Oh,
Okay. All right.
take one.
That takes that out the window for me, but leaves me an easy option. I think I'm gonna have to just go with my guy.
Jameer.
You know? Gibby,
Hey.
what's up?
No loyalty in fantasy football. Bears fan, even in a mock draft, picking a Detroit Lions.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I love fantasy football, because like just I'm waiting for my team to actually be okay, which is high hopes. High hopes. I did
like
read an
it.
article today. You guys are gonna die. I read an article about what zodiac sign that the teams are, and the Bears are a Virgo, which means that they overthink and don't make great decisions a lot. So.
Oh, there you go. Now it makes sense.
It was good. It was really funny, actually. I was like, all right.
Let's see. All right.
Oh,
what's
he
left for me?
got me. He got me. All right, let's see.
I said I was gonna go 0. All right, let's see what it looks like.
Neighbors, all right.
Best receiver. I'll do it.
Okay. So
Nico.
7. So why, I'm just curious. So are you switching it up? Obviously, we're mocking, but like, what are you switching it up between RB and wide receiver? Or are you going with wide receiver on 1?
I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go 0 RB.
Okay.
So I won't take a running back until the 4th. No, I apologize. I won't take a running back till the 5th round.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I want to see how the team turns out. It's a strategy that I don't recommend, but like that's what the purpose of the mock draft is for, right? Is to get to get some reps in, try different things. London just went in front of me.
I love Drake London, man. I'll take him in any draft.
How are you feeling about Penix over there?
I love Michael Penix. I'm probably more bullish on him than anybody you'll talk to. I don't know. I watched him a lot. When he was at Indiana, I watched him. I know he got hurt a bunch. Transferred to UW. I don't know. Something about him, just that velocity. When that ball comes out of his hand, it's like nothing you ever seen, man. Like he's made some throws that probably only he can make. Honestly, I think he has a real good year, and I think Atlanta comes up. I think Bijan eats, and London. I think London just keeps that ascension going. I think London just has such a strong year and kind of like sets the tone for the rest of his career. I really like him in dynasty and redraft a lot this year.
I can tell we're going in that second, but that's, I mean, again, we have a hard drop off though for wide receivers after, you know what I mean? We get through 2 rounds, I think. So
yeah,
those tiers, they fall fast, and we'll, I mean, it's definitely, it's funny because I'm like, ooh, I want running backs this year because I've always gone wide receiver heavy, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I end up mixing it up every time anyway. So
I would say I'd prefer, honestly, if I can get one of each, if I can get a really, really upper echelon running back and come back, like, picking late in the draft and just grab a nice alpha wide receiver, I'm feeling really good about the rest of the draft.
yeah, I do love, and I love dart throws, man, because I just feel like there's people underdraft and underestimate a lot of players later in drafts, or they've got some weird tag to them for some reason that doesn't even make sense as to why they're falling in ADP. So I'm like, all right, cool, more for me,
Right. Yeah. I agree with you. Some of these rankings are definitely a little bit funky, so just take advantage when you see guys that look low.
Definitely. That's like one of the best parts of fantasy is people so caught on and hooked on rankings that they miss value right in front of them.
Exactly right. Yeah, ever since I was young, I always, like, my brother and I would make our own rankings. We would, like, look at the Yahoo, look at all the, look at everybody's rankings and kind of, like, just go back and forth and just, like, mix and match and make our own. And something, I always try to do every year is make my own.
I actually have a consensus post reel coming out, like a series I've been working on. I actually started the first round this week where I took the rankings from Sleeper, Yahoo, and Fantasy Pros, and then put them against each other. Then came with like the median score to find out who is the actual, like, Jamar Chase is like the consensus number 1, but then it kind of gets dicey from there. So I got something coming out soon with the combination rankings.
I like that, man. That's cool. I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah. I'm really getting into digging into stats a lot more and building out. I'm becoming a spreadsheet guy, Seven, if you can believe it, instead of that gut instinct lady that I've always been.
For sure. I mean, like, it's like common sense for certain things, but some things is like a stat may just be the difference between 2 players that you like, And I a prime example. I like Jared Goff and I like Kyler Murray if I can't get a top 6 quarterback. What's the difference maker for me this year? Kyler Murray's got such a soft schedule compared to Jared Goff. I think Kyler Murray might have the number 1 schedule for quarterback. I'm going to go. That's the difference. That stat right there, that'll be the difference maker for me.
It is huge. Like last year, Goff having, what was it? How many dome games was it? And there was like back-to-back home games, and I was like, oh, Goff to the moon.
Yeah.
Hey, what, QB6, QB7?
Right? Like, my man. Everybody's like, you got a lot of Lions players. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. If you find those QBs, kind of in the middle rounds or whatever, and they look like they got shootouts brewing in the playoffs, get them. Go get them.
Man, that's like snatching up Baker, And then if everybody's like, okay, he's not gonna have the season that he had last year that he's never gonna have again. But I mean, I understand that for touchdown purposes, but I could see another phenomenal season with what they've built down there and the momentum. And he's really good at moving around different offensive coordinators, which they obviously, I think he's in his 5th one, in 5th season, 6 seasons,
something like that.
I know.
That dude just adapts. He is as tough as you are going to find. So he does, like, I don't even care who's here. I don't care who's with me. I'm going to come out and just fire that thing.
Oh, Boomer Sooner over there,
Right.
No hate for sure.
Hey, I respect him, man. Like, he's been through a hell of a lot. You go from, like, that crazy roller coaster where you're the first overall pick, you got all kind of expectations. It's going all right for you early, and then you just totally take a dive, and then you can barely, you can't find a start on a decent team, and you're riding pine, and then you come out and just get paid and you're just balling. Like, how do you not root for him?
You shut everybody up. That's the best feeling. So what are your thoughts on this Rashee Rice situation? Do you think there'll be a suspension in season?
No, not this year. It looks like everything that I've been reading is, if it were going to happen, it would happen, like he's not going to end up getting in trouble for this year. It looks like it's getting pushed out. I would guess 26. And I'm thinking it looks like this year is clear, especially as we get closer to the season. There's no court, you know what I mean? Nothing is official. Nothing is really in the works. So I think everything that I've heard is it really looks likely that he's clear for this year. So I'm all in on Rashee. I think he's running around. He's looking like himself, and that's enough for me. If he's not suspended and he's running around looking like himself, sign me up.
Heard.
I'm with you 100%. If he's himself and there's no suspension when it doesn't look like it's coming this year, that's a great value.
Unbelievable value. I mean, you're talking about, him, T. Higgins here, is that, the other thing, like if Rashee Rice is that alpha there, Mahomes is looking for him as much as he was before that injury. I mean, you're talking about the sky is the limit. You're talking about him easy wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't seen any updated news, but I'm looking forward to I grabbed him in the 5th in Scott Fishbowl yesterday live, so he's on my squad for the rest of the season. So let's go.
That's a hell of a steal.
Say that again?
That's a hell of a good steal right there.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not used to 30-second timers either. Let's go.
My bad. Yeah, I mean, it lets us grade the teams of the.
Oh, it's smart. It's smart. I'm just not. I'm like, oh, Nike.
I mean, but also it's like when Goku was training at what was that 90 or 100 degrees? No, was it 10? I think it was 100. Oh my gosh, you guys know what I'm talking about? No, Dragon Ball Z.
Oh
Goku.
God,
I was going dynamic, and the thing broke, and he was training. Doing a 30-second timer gets you ready for the real draft. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, you feel it. You hear the beep, and you're like, oh man, like getting real for me right now.
When we were talking in the middle of a thought of thinking about how great my draft was yesterday, I'm like, oh, I got 9 seconds left. But as I told Seven before you came on, this is my first mock for redraft single QB. I've been doing, it's like super flex, dynasty startups, and Scott Fish and charity best ball, and like my brand. And now I never used to do those things, and now I'm like heavy into them, and I'm like, all right, so this is gonna get me ready for the season. Let's go.
Absolutely. So I see Omarion Hampton go off the board. What do you guys think about Hampton for redraft this year?
Not for me. Not this year. And I think he's going to be the RB1 next year. I know that's bold. I know so much can happen. He could tear his knee up week 8. But in my opinion, if he's healthy and there's no Najee Harris there next year, he's my RB1. I think he's that talented. I love that scheme. I love the coaching staff. I love the offensive weapons, the O-line. He's my early, way too soon 2026 RB1. But that's next year, not this year.
I like that a lot. I mean, I couldn't agree more. Honestly, I mean, that's bold, number 1. I mean, I don't know if I would go exactly that far, but I could see it like all day long. I mean, I think he's absolutely, if you think about the situation, well, obviously, if we're talking redraft, you're talking Najee being kind of a pain in his ass all year. And Jim is not going to, they signed this veteran guy. Jim's seen him play. You know him. He's going to end up using Najee. Everybody's like, oh, Najee's he's washed or whatever. They're going to use him, at least for this year. They got him for 1 year. After that, I agree. Hampton is just going to be crazy. They're going to pound that rock, and this dude is going to be going bonkers on everybody.
I literally agree with both of you guys. I'm so glad to be in a room that actually agrees with that, because for me, he's too expensive. It's just like, for me, it's a wasted pick in the 4th round. 4th or 5th, depending, sometimes even 3rd, honestly, the way people are drafting running backs. And I really like the way that this draft is evening out. I like the versatility that we've got going on between teams. So, but yeah, he's just too expensive. And you made the perfect point that you took the words out of my mouth, that they're going to use him. They're going to use Najee, whether people like it or not. And they're not going to use him fantasy value, They're going to use him to try to win games.
That's right, exactly.
So we're SOL when it comes to the Chargers running back squad. So.
Yeah. Jim Harbaugh don't care about our fantasy teams.
He sure doesn't. He sure does not.
Oh, let's see. Don't take my guy on me right now. You did take one of my guys, though. I like that pick right there, dude. Let me tell you, Quinton Judkins. Oh my God. But let's see. All right, let's go. Yep. Sign me up.
Where'd we go? Hold on.
Let me get Jameson Williams in here.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's finally out of the water he's been in up and down for so many seasons, where obviously we started to see him come out and pop out last year, but now he can finally be utilized with all that stuff behind him, the things he was doing as a young man, we'll say.
Right. Exactly.
He's no longer a YN.
Right.
Big bro status. Big bro.
Right.
Yeah, I think that new scheme is going to favor him a little bit. And I mean, people just don't even realize that he's coming off a 1,000-yard season, and he had 8 total touchdowns. They were using him in the run game, using him in the screen game, using him deep posts, using him obviously to, just get past everybody. And I think that, you watch the tape at Bama, obviously, he had his growing pains and he was kind of immature for a couple of years and he was hurt, obviously coming out of school. I think all things considered, they had the buzz coming into the last camp. He answered the bell. You got more buzz coming in right now. I think he's going to show up. I think I think double-digit TDs is definitely doable for him.
Oh, I was like, what happened?
My bad. I'm trying to, I just want to get better.
You have a lot going on over there. It's okay.
The idea is that during the season, I can have, participants in the RFL come back and talk about, recap. Honestly, you would have Tom Brady come visit with Stuart Scott or Warren Moon come talk to Boomer Esiason about something after the game, post matchup reactions,
100%. I see what you're saying. We're focusing. All right, you're getting ready. You're getting prepped. This is going to be a great season. Ooh, I got sniped.
Oh, you got to love it.
Snatch that Baker. I shouldn't have been talking about him. That's what I get.
Right. Yeah. Rule number 1, don't talk about the guys you want.
And I know. And I normally don't, but I couldn't help myself. It just, he's been on my brain lately, Mr. Laser.
All 6th round is a great value for him. 6'6".
All right. We're going. Hey, I'm going running backs. Let's go. Let's take all the running backs.
Let's see.
I think Pacheco, he's beefed up too. So I'm looking forward to seeing him move. I think it's funny because I knew with how much they were trying to utilize him that he was going to get hurt. And everybody's like, oh, he'll be back before the end of the season. No, he won't. He broke his leg. What was his fibula or his tibia? It was fibula, right? Which is the small bone. That takes forever to heal.
Yeah.
Even if you're in pro ball.
Yep. I mean, he's been looking good in his workout videos. Obviously, no contact or anything like that, but he's moving around. He looks pretty good. I mean, obviously, you're getting that OTA buzz going. I'm with you. I like Pacheco right now, too. Hopefully, he can keep it going through training camp.
And hopefully he can stay this cheap, too. I doubt it by the time the season starts, but I'm looking.
Right.
Training camp rumors are going to ruin all my strategy, but that's all right. We'll pivot. When they zig, we zag, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Oh, Roma Dunze off the board. I like that right here. Let's see.
Yeah, 7th round is an interesting one, man, because it's either you're filling out your starters or you're doubling up on trading pieces or just preparing for the bye week.
Yeah.
Do I need a tight.
He's like, oh, wait.
I'm trying to master the StreamYard, but I'm also trying to, pan and look at teams, but then I also got to look at my team.
That's why hosting is always the hardest, and it's good to do it. Once you just blows up, at least you get it done now. Get it out the way.
Right. Jeez.
I'm actually glad to be on. I haven't been on a show in quite some time because I do all the back end admin. I'm doing all these events and stuff. So merchandising, all that. So I haven't been on, and I'm like, okay, this gets me back in the groove a little bit here. So
yeah, it feels good to get on and shoot the breeze with you guys today.
Yeah, and it's super chill.
Welcome. I think I can get 6 on here at one time, so you guys are always welcome. I might just create a group and just post it, and whoever shows up, shows up.
Hell yeah, that's cool.
If you got 15 minutes to swing by, that's 15 minutes a game that these followers will soak up.
Oh, the other thing too is streaming. Get that. I think StreamYard you can hook up to IG, right?
You can, and I'm trying to drive people to the YouTube because not that I'm well established on IG, but I have more of a presence there. So I'm trying to route people from there to here. I've been sending the link in the chat, but they're going crazy.
Oh, we'll get it there. We'll blast it out.
Yeah.
What's the name of the page, by the way?
It is the RFL Network or the RFL Network.
Hit that subscribe. Look, it's behind my head. Got a sign.
Honestly, though, yeah, you guys really should, man. This is quality content. We got quality folks on here, and honestly, just quality followers too. I see a lot of the same faces in here that are always in here, just itching to get that mock draft in and do some talking.
Yes, sir. Okay. We already got our quarterback.
Did somebody?
I feel like I could wait.
I'm waiting for somebody to be drafted so we can have a discussion. Is he still there?
Look it. Let's go.
And to the followers, man, I appreciate you guys all being in here. Looks like we got a full house. First and Goal was here. He's probably going back and forth. Shout out to him.
I see you guys chatting in the sleeper chat in the YouTube. All right, what do we got? Is Olave off the board? I don't see him.
No, he's available right now.
He's there.
Okay.
I almost took him, but I was like, I started with 3 receivers. Let me get some running backs.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's worth taking a gamble on him right there. That is late.
There you go. Right. Well, that's why I wanted to discuss, because I want to talk about this slightly atrocious New Orleans team. I mean, we know Kamara's going to eat, but how do we feel about the front lines protecting everybody and the situation over there?
I think it's going to be. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, High Society.
So you got it, bro. You got it.
No, I think it's going to be a really bad team. I was doing a little research, and I just typed in, not like Chat GPT, but like Google, and I said, who's projected to have the first overall pick in the 2026 season? And they were the second favorite. It's going to be bad. I don't know why they took that quarterback they did. Olave can't stay healthy. I wouldn't be surprised if they move Kamara midseason. They need a just hard rebuild.
I agree with that. I mean, the quarterback situation, I almost don't understand drafting Tyler Show at all there. I really don't. I mean, honestly, if you just gave the keys to Rattler and then kind of just see what he had to offer you, obviously, he was a really nice high school prospect. He played okay in college. He has some red flags, but I mean, let him go out there. You're probably not going to win either way, and you're looking at a really good class next year. So if you lose games and he's not the guy, then really you have nothing to lose. I don't know why you could have used that second round pick, 40th overall or whatever on something else. But I'm not really sure. I don't like them this year. I think they're going to lose a lot of games, and I could see them getting rid of Kamara too. I don't really think they will have any use for him when they're absolutely tanking, midway through.
Right.
You guys want to see what I just did? It's pretty funny. You just look at my team. I was like, let me grab both the Seahawks wide receivers. That sounds like a great idea.
I mean, that's not bad though.
I only have 3. So this is how it's my first mock bet.
Gotcha.
Because I know who Mulu Geta is gonna get in my texts, and he's gonna be saying something. So
yeah, for sure. He stays active, dude. He's the lead goblin, dude.
I don't know what we would do without him, though.
Right. It's because of him we're mocking right now.
Yeah, massive support. He texted me 3 times and told me not to forget. So, and he told me to set an alarm. He said, "Amber Alert, set that alarm."
Love that.
Yeah, man.
Look. Oh man.
I think somebody asked me why I didn't have a tight end. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't see, in that last round, I think Olave at that point, I would rather just wait around and go where the value is. And I had Olave in terms of value way above any of those tight ends. So this year I'm comfortable waiting on quarterback and tight end for the most part, unless there's just a couple guys where there are exceptions. For tight end, after Kittle goes for me, I'm willing to wait quite a while. I mean, I like Evan Ingram. I think actually he's a really good value. And then other than that, there aren't a lot of guys I'm willing to come up very high for. I'd rather just roll the dice on some nice upside receivers and then wait on tight end and grab a couple upside guys as it gets later.
I agree. And I don't love where I'm sitting right now. And I'll just be honest, just since I'm about to pick anyways, like I don't love where I'm sitting when it comes to what I need, which is obviously I just had 2 Seattle wide receivers and I'm not in my favorite spot right now. This part of the draft for me is like round 9 is where I'm like, all right, because you can definitely wait, I think, on tight end. That's how I feel. I mean, I feel the same way. Because if you're not going top, if you're not wasting an early round pick on them, then it's at the end of the day, they're all evening out pretty much.
Right. Yeah. You wait, you grab a couple upside guys, one of them hits. Hey, you're doing all right.
I like to hoard them too on my bench. So
No, for sure. Because some people like to get cute, and you didn't make them suffer. That's
Yeah.
how you win.
True.
Yeah, hey, we're all friends, but like when we're in that 12-team chat, it's like,
Yeah.
it's war.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
Just the wife for me. You know?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
That's the best part. Everybody's in these leagues, you know, your friends, your buddies, you bust balls and having a good time. And when that game time is coming around, it gets a little bit different. You know, it's it's a little bit less texting and calling during that matchup.
No, I mean, it takes a lot to think that you know more than other people in. Ooh, I'll take that. A starter.
There you go.
There we go. There's my tight end.
There you go.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't going to make it back around, but I was like, meow. All right, so back to real quick. I just want to go back to this Ayuk situation since I grew up here. So, I mean, he's probably not going to start till midseason with his injury. And then we already know what that usually looks like year 1 back. I mean, is he even worth it to grab late?
Wait, who was that you said?
Ayuk, sorry. It was there.
You're talking for redraft?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on how late. Obviously, if you have a really nice team built and you can just stash him at almost no risk, I mean, I like it. But if you're using a pick that's like right around where you're going to be, you know, a flex type pick or whatever, or your first guy on your bench or something, I would not be taking him there.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it. I think that's last week's winner of Team of the Week. Try to shout out the followers and show them a love. Can you guys hear me at all?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, my bad.
I zoned out because I just realized it was over. I was waiting for more picks, and I was like, okay, we're good.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I try to time it to where we get like about 30 minutes of draft time, and then there's no rush, but we got up to 30 minutes of review and chat and banter and promoting, and then we can go out about our nights.
Heard that.
I like it.
Team 1, we got Chase, Ladd, McBride, Mahomes, Kamara, Johnson, Rome, Addison, Travis Etienne. How do you guys feel?
You can kick it off if you'd like to, Amber Alert.
All right, cool. You know what? I'm digging. I like where he's at. Let me look at my phone. Hold on. I like where Joseph's at with his wide receivers. Love that. Patrick, a lot of people, he's sliding because people think that what they've seen the regression of the past few years, but there's been a lot of injuries. Not everybody was in the right place. I don't know. For me, I really think that they're hyper focused because losing for Mahomes is something that is going to motivate him. Like it's going to make him stronger. It's going to make him be a team player. Last year, they just kind of seemed like they were like, it was a tough year in general, but them losing was a big deal. So I'm okay with that. For me, my concerns would be his running back situation, but Alvin's going to eat or Kamara's going to eat. Caleb Johnson is an unknown for me. So I don't know. How are we rating these? Do we just...
I mean, we'll probably compare the as we go along, and we only do the followers. We don't do the analyst teams.
Heard that. Okay. No, I for me, it's a confident team. I think it's a team that can carry you.
Yeah, I feel like it's a borderline playoff team.
Yeah,
I agree. I think they could do a little bit better than that. I mean, when you talk about, especially if you're in a PPR league and you're talking about having Chase and Ladd and McBride, you're talking about big upside. I mean, I don't know. Addison may or may not get suspended. That is kind of a pain, but. I really like Odunze where he got him. I think that he is a nice sleeper. I think he's a good guy to target that has a ton of ceiling. And, he should have a really nice year. He's been buzzing. I mean, you're talking about Ben Johnson getting there. They should be moving Odunze around. I see him having a good year. I know everybody's all over Burden and Loveland. And I would pump the brakes a little bit more on those guys. I think Odunze and Moore still are probably in charge in terms of targets in that offense. So I really like it. And I think, obviously, when you start with Chase and Ladd, those are just PPR hogs. You're talking about a top 2 tight end and Trey McBride. Guy should have a great year. You're talking about still an elite quarterback. You got Hollywood Brown. I know Kelsey's another year older. But then now you got Rice coming back. Now you got Worthy in his, with a little bit more experience. So Mahomes should really, step up and put up better numbers, and then you wait on running back, right? But then you land Kamara. And, I mean, guy is a stud. You should get a ton of work, like getting him in the 5th round. I mean, man, you can't beat that. You waited, you punt running back almost, and you're coming up with AK at your RB1. And then I like that you kind of go with I like Caleb. He's obviously got some swing. You could hit a home run or you could swing and miss. But you got good potential out of your next couple running backs. If one of them can hit for you, you're doing well. And if this were a longer draft, maybe, you bolster up your back end on running backs too. Maybe get a solid floor guy. I like that team. I think they could easily make the playoffs for sure. I agree.
Yeah.
We got B-Man. B-Man went Barkley Jacobs. Nice little 1-2. Wilson Hurts Moore in the 5th. Great value. Hunter Pollard in the 7th. Not bad. Warren and Reed. Yep. How do you guys feel about it?
I'll jump off. I mean, for me, you can't go wrong with Barkley and Jacobs, especially in redraft. I mean, I don't think you're going wrong in Dynasty right now either. I mean, I wouldn't do him in a startup, but I really like where he's at there. I think he's solid. Garrett in the 3rd is great. He's falling in ADP too, which is really interesting to me. I know it's Fields at the helm, but I know that they're working over there. They're putting in work just to get Fields where he needs to be. Since, all these other teams treated him terribly. So then we've got Jalen Hurts. Hey, let's go. DJ, great value. I mean, I'm looking at this squad and I really like it. We've got Tony as your 3rd running back. So I'm feeling pretty confident about this squad.
Yep. I agree completely with you. I like the analysis on that one. Different strategy, obviously, from the first pick there. You load up on 2 workhorse running backs, guys that you can count on every single week. If they're healthy and they're playing, they're going to be getting that rock 20-plus times a game. So super, super safe, beautiful way to start there. Good floor. Garrett Wilson, I know he's probably something of an enigma here. He's such a talented player, and he's never really had a quarterback that can get him the rock the way that he should. So I think that, people always talk about how Fields isn't an elite passer and these things, but people also forget, when Fields was in school, who was he targeting when he was doing really well? Who was the guy that was doing it for him? And that was Garrett Wilson. So I think that he's going to be great there. I mean, Jalen Hurts, as far as I remember, they still got the tush push going. So, he'll be fine. He got more, perfectly safe, nice wide receiver too. You take a swing for the fence with Hunter right after with your 3rd receiver. Yeah, good team. I really like it. I think their upside is as good as anybody's.
Okay. Then we go to Luis. He said, show him some love. He shouted you out personally, High Society. I don't know if
he wants you check that one first.
Hey, right here. Hey, show me some love on my squad.
All right, man. I got you, Luis. I got you. Let's see what you got going, bro. All right, cool. I mean, you start with Amon-Ra. You got a little Sun God going. Man, I love the Sun God. If we're talking PPR.
Wait. I'm sorry. Right? I'm talking to myself. Someone said they're backstage, and I'm looking for it. And I don't.
That's okay.
Are we good?
Yeah, you're good. Keep talking about Luis while he figures it out.
All right. I love the Sun God, man. I mean, he's just super productive, super competitive. He's always a guy that's going to play. I think I read a report that he dinged up his shoulder super bad, and he was just not going to sit a game. He's never going to sit. I love everything about St. Brown. Hell of a good 1st-round pick, PPR. You can never hate that. I love that. You come back with Kyron Williams. Those 2 running backs, I'm going to be real with you for a second now. Those are not 2 of my favorite running backs. I got to say, I like Kyron. I think he's fine. But I have been hearing those rumors about, looking to get a little bit more of a committee going. And obviously you use a little bit of capital on Corum. You come back this year and you double dip and you take Jarquez Hunter, who I feel like is a really good player. I feel like in this deep running back class, people just sleep on guys like Jarquez Hunter, who's actually got a lot of ability. he could come in here and he could really make a role for himself. I don't expect it to be substantial early, but even as the year goes on, you're talking about taking Kyron in the middle of the second round. I would probably wait a little bit more. Kenneth Walker is another guy, huge upside. He can buff off 2 touchdown runs like in a heartbeat. You start the game, you're up like 24 points. You look and it's like K9, or it's either that or he's hurt and he's just riding pine. And you watch him Zach Charbonnet getting 3-4 yards a pop, and that offense is struggling. So K9 is something where his risk at that point isn't worth it to me. I probably would rather wait and take a guy like Judkins or a Harvey or a guy like that, Chase Brown even. Well, he went right before, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, one of those type of guys. I'd rather just wait and get Judkins or even Hubbard or whatever. I would probably be out on K9. I like Burrow where you got him. I really love Burrow. Super safe. Obviously, they just got Higgins and Chase extended. Love that. You're talking Worthy. You're talking Waddle. If those guys are healthy, they could be incredible. Even if just one of them is healthy, you're talking, good things. I like the team. Ayuk last round, not my favorite pick. I like Jerry Jeudy a lot. I think he's going to be just a target hog there, regardless of who's playing quarterback. Kenny Pickett isn't exactly a guy that takes a ton of shots. I think you're going to see Jerry Jeudy running those intermediate routes, breaking dudes' ankles and just getting open. And regardless of who's quarterback, I think Jeudy really eats this year. Jonnu Smith, hell of a good value in the 7th round. You're talking about a guy coming off a career year and looking at a nice role next year. I like the team. My big concern would be that you only got 2 running backs, and one of them has a very extensive injury history, and one of them is right now, hearing some rumors, buzzing about a committee. So I probably would have shored up maybe with at least one more RB. But your receivers have phenomenal upside. You got a super safe quarterback and a stud of a tight end. So maybe you can live with it, but the running backs make me nervous. I can't lie to you, brother.
I'm with you. Well, and Amon-Ra's he's my guy. It was the first video I ever did as a content creator. So love that man. So we're good there. Apparently I'm just a huge Detroit Lions fan now, so I should probably just take this flag down. It's fine. And then at least for another couple of years. But Kyron, I love Kyron. I get the rumors of committee. I just love the way that he's a touchdown hog, and I know things are changing over there, but I still have faith in him. So I'm good, okay with that pick. I love Kenneth Walker. I love snatching Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet. I grab them both. Every time I grab K9, I always grab Sharps. And it's just something that I've done. Well, what is Sharps in? Is year 3? We're in year 3, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So 2 years in a row now, I've made sure to grab them both, and it's benefited me. Last year specifically, but having them makes you feel so much better. So if you can do that, I don't know if he was even grabbed. Obviously, this is a mock, but I like where you're at. I understand where your head's at. As long as you grab Sharps, I'm okay with that pick. Because you've got your safety there, your safety net. Worthy, I think he's going to eat, but with Rashid back, him as he's your wide receiver 2, but he's got wide receiver 2 potential. And then Waddle, as long as 2 is healthy, I think we're okay. I think we're in for, last year was just atrocious over there. God, just made me want to throw up. I'm telling you. Man, it was brutal. Jonnu, love me some Jonnu. It's funny because I've been snatching him up the past couple of years, and everybody's like, why? And then last year they're like, oh, and I was like, it's going to happen at some point.
He's nice, man. He's nice.
Yeah. He had the opportunity. And everybody's moved around so much that I'm feeling pretty good about Jeudy as well. So I like the squad. I'm hesitant like you are, High Society, where it's like, I only 2 RBs, and then we're dealing with some situational potential problems down the road with a couple of the wide receivers. But again, we're still early in these mocks, man. This is where we improve.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. My bad. I had a guest who's trying to get on, and I don't know what's going on, so I apologize. I'm trying to multitask. I appreciate you guys.
We'll hold down the fort, no problem.
I appreciate it. It's all organic, and you guys just have so much game to give them that it's nothing. So I appreciate you guys filling in. We got Lab, A-Chain, Lamb, CD Lamb, A-Chain, Higgins, DK, Harvey, Baker in the 6th, Brian Robinson at the 7th, Mark Andrews, and Scat. How do you guys feel about Niner Empire?
You want to get this?
Yeah, I can run this one. Of course, CD, we're happy with that. We've got CDH, and I'm happy there. T. Higgins is always a question mark for me. He's not somebody that I don't even look at in drafts. If he's there, I just pass right over him. I know that they got the big extensions, but to me, I'm sorry, money doesn't make it. It's contract years that make it for me. Well, that's usually how I draft. So, and that's just me specifically. Obviously, everybody's, it's just an opinion, but love DK, even in Pittsburgh, even with Rodgers. I think it's going to be a great opportunity there because you got an older DK and an older Rodgers, and Rodgers is getting to that like cantankerous place in his elderliness that he's like, this kid he's really respectful. And like, so I think he's going to eat like a lot. So, and then he's just a specimen, right? So RJ Harvey's in a great position over there in Denver. Baker, you snagged me, so you know how I feel about that. Brian Robinson, obviously another great pick. Eckler's on his way out, and Mark Andrews. I mean, I would obviously, pick another tight end later because I just have this strong feeling that he's not going to be able to maintain his health the whole season, but he's definitely going to come out with a bang. And then Scat. Man, I've got some bias. I saw his video of not knowing who Megatron was, and it upset me. So I'm just feeling some type of way about him right now. And so I'm going to put that down. But I am a big fan of his ball. I digress.
I felt the same way. I was like, dude, how don't you know Calvin Johnson? What is going on right now?
We're getting old. We're getting old.
Right. Yeah, I know. I found some more grays today, and the beard, man, definitely is.
Oh, you see, I went with the Spaniard look. I just got rid of the whole thing.
Clean
mine, you can't see mine because it's dark in here, so we're good.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
I'm a man. I'm 40. I haven't watched a good Mike Gundy conference in too long, but
oh man.
But I would say with this team right here, you're kicking off with Lamb. Love CeeDee Lamb, one of the safest receivers you'll find. Everybody want to talk about. I love George Pickens. I think I have him on my team right now. I think that offense opens up even more. I think Dak actually, historically, after Dak has somewhat of a struggle in a certain year, he repeats or he rebounds in a really good way. I think that Dak comes out and that offense is just kind of moving around a lot different. I think Pickens has something of a career resurgence. And I think Lamb eats, and they don't really have any run game, so they better eat if that offense is going to move the ball. Otherwise, it's going to be Jaden Blue and that committee of guys that most people think are washed right now. But I will say Devon Achane, I don't know how to feel about him, if I'm being honest. I love his big playability. When he was coming out of Texas A&M, I was telling everybody I loved him over Kendre Miller. I loved him at the back of that first round. I was targeting Achane. But now we're talking about 2.6 overall, and you're talking about a guy who is just so small and he's slight. I know that he's put on some weight, but I've got concerns a little bit about his workload. I know he had a great year. I know his metrics are all off the charts. I know per touch, he's great. I know he can catch the ball, run routes. He's a good player. I'm just a little bit torn on him. I like him, and I'm with Amber Alert on T. Higgins. He is not a guy I normally target. I mean, unless he falls to you, I just don't really see his upside. And there are just every time I look and I'm playing against T. Higgins or I'm seeing what he's doing, he has these dud weeks where Chase just blows up, and then you're looking at T like, man, what are you going to do something? Like he's not even getting looked at. I know he's got weeks like, later in the season last year against Pittsburgh or whatever, where he has like 3 touchdowns and blows up and goes crazy. But he's just he's never going to be the alpha. He's never going to have the craziest upside. And in round 3, you're talking about round 3 for a guy that doesn't have real upside, who's a nice floor guy. I mean, I think I would rather go another way. I'm talking about I got Rashee Rice after Higgins went. I can't, I don't think I would take Higgins over Rice, in any ever, honestly. DK Metcalf. I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard to convince me to take anything with Arthur Smith, in terms of like wide receivers when he's running an offense. It's a little bit tough for me to get around that. But I do like DK. The fact that they signed Rodgers is helpful because Mason Rudolph is obviously not any good. So you got a guy who, Rodgers can get him the ball a little bit. I like Metcalf. But similar to Higgins, I just don't see like a ton of upside. I just don't see a lot of passing volume. I mean, they brought in, you're talking about Caleb Johnson, who's just a workhorse. They re-signed Warren. I think those guys are just going to be just getting the rock. And Rodgers is going to be doing his play action, doing a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be too crazy. Maybe him and Freiermuth get going, but you got RJ Harvey. I like him there. I think that's a good value in the 5th round. I think he's going to be. So basically, I'll do this as quickly as I can. I think that Denver offense, now that they've got Dobbins, is going to be some semblance of early Kamara and Mark Ingram days to some extent, and not like, those numbers were pretty crazy. But I think Dobbins has sort of that early down role, at least, especially early on in this year. I think he's done it before. They brought him in for, $5.5 million. That's not necessarily backup money. So I think that JK has an early down role. I think Harvey's the pass catcher there. I like him, but, only so much. I like Baker. I'm not a Brian Robinson guy. I'm really not in on Mark Andrews. I'm really more of an Isaiah Likely guy. I don't know if it happens right out of the gate, but I can see Isaiah Likely he's already creating so much buzz. And you saw him last year, and Mark Andrews looked like a ghost. You saw a ghost when he dropped that ball in that playoff game last year. I just kind of see Isaiah Likely catching up to him, kind of nipping at his heels right now. So I think it's a matter of time before Likely is just a better player that has to go out and play more than Andrews and get more looks. I just don't know exactly when. And then Scatabo, it's the last round. I'm not really a huge fan. I think they still got Tracy there. I know that he'll have a role. So I don't dislike it. He's a fine depth. I think him and Brian Robinson are fine on the bench, but also neither of them are super sexy. Neither of them are going to catch a ton of balls. And they're going to get you three yards in a cloud of dust and some touchdowns. But I think the team is okay. I don't think it's necessarily one of the better teams compared to the previous ones.
For sure. We got a comment real quick. Niner Empire stole Devon A-Chain. That was going to be my pick. Hey, we all get sniped. We had a guest join, man, and 2 weeks ago I had the honor and the privilege of being a guest on his show, This for the Birds podcast. He's 1/3. He goes by the name of Big Sean. Everyone, please show him a lot of love. If you don't already follow him, please do. And brother, before I bring you on, before I highlight you, you shared your platform with me, and you guys showed me so much love, and you guys were flexible with the situation I had going on. And with the last spot of the RFL, I want to give it to you, Big Sean.
I appreciate it.
24th team in the RFL tournament, man.
I appreciate it. I'm in. You already know I'm in. I do mini leagues.
It's going to be competitive, as you see. We know our stuff.
Yes,
but I know you know your stuff too.
I was listening, and on that first pick, Just Jefferson was not it on the PPR league. The way it was at, I was an auto pick.
Yeah.
So don't charge to my heart. That wasn't me.
Hey, like, don't sleep. Just JJ is still JJ. So
hey, yeah, that's still a good pick. Yeah, it's just not your pick.
Right. It wasn't my pick. I'm on now. Already know JJ is my favorite receiver. Point blank period. I think he's the best receiver. Point blank period. But and the way it was set up, JJ was not the pick I was looking for.
We got to get you back. We got to get you back next 2 weeks from now to redeem yourself.
Oh, please. Please.
Were you looking at Bijan or Barkley?
It was Barkley, Bijan, and Gibbs. All three of them could have been at the number 2 slot easily in the PPR league. Easily.
Yep. I agree.
We're going to have you take down this team right here. If you don't mind, lending your expertise.
Hold on. Let me see. My thing acting up.
I can read it for you.
Yes, please do.
Yep. Okay. So we got Puka at the 1, Bucky Irving in the 2nd at the 2.5, Lamar Jackson 3.8, Mike Evans 4.5, Mixon 5.8, Ridley 6.5, Evan Ingram 7.8. We've got Jennings at the 8.5 and Mason at the 9.8.
Lamar was the second quarterback taken. It was Josh Allen first. Am I right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Huh. I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll discuss that. But anyway,
this is a Ravens fan, by the way.
Hey, I would take Lamar over Allen too, if that's what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm like, you gotta don't worry, ain't no slide to Josh Allen. I love Josh Allen, but Lamar is gonna get you between the passing, the running, the yards, depending on how it's set up. I mean, he's gonna get you 30 just about every game. Guaranteed. But and with the one was Puka.
Yeah, it was
All right.
Puka was the first pick. So if I'll name the starters. So the quarterback is Jackson. The RB1 is Irving, Bucky.
Mhm.
The RB2 is Mixon. Wide receiver 1 is Puka. Wide receiver 2 is Mike Evans. The flex would have been Calvin Ridley, and the tight end was Evan Ingram with Jennings and Mason on the bench.
I don't know how I feel about this offense with the Rams. Right, Puka's gonna get his.
Yeah.
But I know how Tay Adams is, and with Tay Adams,
Mm.
Tay Adams is gonna get his. Like, so he's gonna get some of that. Like Cooper Kupp was on the back end of his run, but Tay Adams is Tay Adams. Like, for whatever reason, Tay Adams is like 33, 34, and still separation, still can't cover him. Like, I don't know how I feel about the Puka being the first receiver going. Like, I know what Puka can do. He's only 23. I get all that, but with Tay Adams there taking some of that, I can see from where I went, because I had Judders and it was a string of running backs, which was Gibbs and all of them. So I guess I could see it, but I'm not a big fan of Puka going in the first round. I probably got him on the back end of the first, towards into the second. That'd be me thinking because of Tay Adams.
I agree.
It's not Cooper Kupp there anymore. If it was Cooper Kupp, yes, I'm taking Puka. Cooper Kupp is not the same guy, but Tay Adams is proving that he can still be that guy.
What you think, Amber?
I like this squad a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie.
But I love the Burger Irvin.
Yeah, I'm you know, and here's the deal. I love Bucky. You know, in early drafts last year, I was snatching him up, and people were like, Bucky. I'm like, yeah, let me grab that. And obviously now he's going in the second round. He's still, I think, a little too expensive. But it's you know, that's where he's valued at. That's where you have to grab him. So I really do like this squad. I love that Evan Ingram pick. I think that he's going to eat as well over there in Denver. And then Jordan Mason, I'm excited about that because, like, old man Jones, man, I love me some Aaron Jones, but Jordan Mason, I mean, we've got, again, Aaron Jones always gets hurt, and I like the scheme that they've got in Minnesota. So I'm really content with this. We can't push Juwan Jennings out either. So we've got he can move people around depending on what's going on. And Cam Ward, we don't know what we're going to see, but I know that they're stoked, they're excited, and Calvin Ridley is still Calvin Ridley, you know?
Yeah.
So I mean, if we're rating this team, I'm really liking this squad out of the ones we've rated
so far.
I think so.
I love the Joe Mixon myself. I still think Joe Mixon.
Oh yeah, I didn't even bring him up. I was like, we know.
Hey, 5.8.
Joe Mixon is that guy.
That's a good team.
That was a steal. So
yeah. I was like, we already knew, so I didn't even talk about him. But yeah,
exactly.
I think this might be my favorite one so far.
Look, we got two more squads. I'm gonna have you go real quick, High Society for Team Santana, and then I'm gonna have Amber and Big Sean go for Team Alvarez. My bad. We only got about 7 minutes. That's why I try to keep it 30 seconds so that we can.
Let's do it.
All right,
let's do it.
You're on in the batter's box, High Society.
Love it, bro. Let's get it. Love Neighbors, love Brown coming out of the gate. 2 stud receivers, 2 alphas. You can't go wrong. The last of the 3 really good tight ends, you land George Kittle. Great pick. You come out, you grab 2 stud running backs. You get Hubbard, who I feel like is in a really good place value-wise right now because they signed Rico Dowdle for $2 million, and everybody's freaking out like Rico Dowdle's like a crazy good player, but you know he's not. He's not. You know, so people can have their fun, but this is Hubbard just got signed to that great extension. He's been super productive ever since he's been there. You know, really good player, good size, good speed. The offense has struggled, but he's still put up numbers. That offense should be much better. He's going to put up even better numbers. So I like Hubbard. Talking about Montgomery, obviously left a bad taste in your mouth at the end of last year. He got hurt, missed some games, but you know, you forget that he was just scoring touchdowns like crazy. That role in that offense is just so good. You know, you're talking about the 5th round. I mean, hey man, that's a great RB2 right there. Taking a swing for the fences with Ted McMillan, round 6. I mean, I've probably made it a little bit clear that he's not my favorite rookie receiver ever. I think it was like a weak wide receiver class at the top with like him and Golden. I like some of the other guys that went a little bit later, but it's a fine pick, good pick in round 6. You know, I like Tyrone Tracy better than Scatterbo right now, especially PPR. Tracy, good pick. Really nice depth for, you know, running back Dak Prescott. phenomenal pick in the second to last round. I was just telling you with Pickens and CD and Ferguson, all those guys, Dak should eat. I think he has a very good rebound year. Dak right there is a steal, and you come back with Diggs in the last round, and I think that's another great pick. He's looking healthy. He's talking a big game about how he's going to have a good year. He looks good right now, just running around in camp, and doing his thing on a boat. Obviously, he's just having himself a good summer. I like that team. Real good team.
Okay. I'm gonna have Amber go, and then Big Sean, I'll ask you a question at the end.
Let's do it.
All right, cool.
Okay.
So we've got Genty, McCaffrey. Love that. McCaffrey's obviously a risk, but I looked at the end of our draft there. You got Garendo right to back him up. So I am happy with that. Yes. Tyreek Hill, Marvin Harrison, Cortland Sutton. You cannot go wrong in any of those directions, and especially with the stack on Kyler Murray, Hawkinson. So this is definitely you and Cammy Bean are definitely tied for my favorite draft, I think, out of the ones that we read through. I like just the way that your draft flowed is pretty great. You're set at wide receiver. I think we've got a healthy Tua. As long as we got a healthy Tua, we got a great Tyreek, right? It's looking nice, man. And then Warren, look, and then that's coming after Genty and McCaffrey. So that's a playoff. That's a contender for the championship. I feel like.
All right, Big Sean.
Yes, sir.
We got who we got right here. We got my bad. I'm looking for. Okay, we got Lamar Jackson, Bucky Irving. Joe Mixon, QB wide receiver 1, Puka, Evans, tight end Ingram, Ridley at the flex, Jennings Mason versus we got Kyler Murray, Genty McCaffrey, Hill Harrison, Hawkinson at the tight end. You got Sutton as your flex, and you got Warren and a handcuff and Grindle for McCaffrey. Which team you got?
I'm going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to go the Lamar way. Not because of the Ravens fan. My biggest problem is I love the fact that you said about McCaffrey and the handcuff. Because McCaffrey, man, every time I pick McCaffrey. let me tell you something. I refuse. I can't, for the past 3-4 seasons, he's been, like she said, a risk, right? But there's no reward in the end of it. And then, what's his name? Isaac Rosendo, whatever his name is. He got hurt too last year. so somebody also got hurt. Me personally, I'm going to go with the stud side because Mike Evans, you know what you're going to get. You know what you get from Bucky Irvin and that offense. You know what you're going to get from Lamar, the whole side. Puka's still going to get his, maybe not as much, but I'm going to go to the first team because what she said is true about both teams, but I'm going to first team all the way though.
I'm with it. I agree too.
Oh, there it is. We're going to have to show some love. I'll have to create some type of edit. I'm still kind of figuring things out. I don't like to do the traditional edits. I'm different. I'm spectrumy with my edits. So make sure you guys like,
well accepted for sure.
Comment. Man, I want to give a shout out to all the followers that took the time to not only mock, but then to come over to the YouTube because I know a lot of them aren't on a computer and device. So I get that you guys are texting in the chat on within the app, and then once the draft is over, I appreciate you guys making your way over to the YouTube. It goes a lot further than you guys realize. Amber, High Society, Big Sean, all three of you guys, welcome to the RFL. Thank you for taking time out of your day, out of your night, out of your afternoon. I think all of you guys are not on the Pacific time, so it means a lot, right? Because you guys aren't on the Pacific Standard Time. So just thank you again, and let's compete, and let's just highlight each other and grow each other and grow this sport we call fantasy football.
Yes,
looking forward to it, guys. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
I run on degeneracy time. I'm up all the time with this stuff, so that's no worries.
Got you. Well, man, we'll have to collaborate on some other things as well, and I won't hold you guys any longer.
Yeah.
See you guys Superflex next Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
All right, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate
you guys have a good
Always.
Good meeting you.